Good morning, everybody. Well, today I came out to the barn and I saw something I didn't really like. So I am going to show you what that was and actually talk to you about all the problems that we've had with Ken over the years and talk a lot about Ken today. And so, but Brenda's helping out this morning.
Morning.
She's brushing the horses for me. They're seeming pretty content in their new stalls. This is day three, maybe second or third night that they've been in their stalls. And everything's holding together quite nicely. But anyways, let's talk about Ken. So this morning I came out and I fed them all. And as I did, I was walking up into Ken's stall. And this is one more reason why, and I'm not trying to promote my way of doing things at all, but just to help you understand why I do some of the things I do. This is one more reason why I really like tie stalls. A lot of tie stalls are set up so you can walk in front of the horses to feed them. And this is in so many ways is really, really nice. You know, you just walk in front of the mangers and throw the hay in and throw the grain in, and you don't have to even come in contact with the horse, which is good and bad both. It's so easy to do, but it's bad in a small sense because you're not having that, you know, handling of the horses every day and seeing the horses every day. Same with the box stall. So often box stalls are such that you don't really see your horse because he's in the box stall. You just throw the hay in and continue on. So this morning I was throwing hay into Ken's stall and immediately I noticed his legs. If you notice, it should be pretty clear on the video, both of his legs have swelled right up, mostly from the hock down. This leg here is swelled up, and this leg over here is swelled up. So when I saw that, I knew there was a problem. So what I did is I took my hand and slid down it. Got a little dirt and mud here still, but I slid down it to see if it was hot, see if it was squishy or somewhat hard, and it is somewhat hard. Not that bad. It's not that bad as far as being hard, and it definitely doesn't feel any heat. So a couple of days ago, Ken was having problems with peeing. He's been having troubles for years. He's always had troubles with this. So I had Peach, my vet, come over, thinking in my mind, well, he needs his sheath cleaned. So she came and cleaned his sheath. We chose not to video that, but
he's a gelding.
He is a gelding, yes. But there was very little debris in there and to cause any troubles. I don't clean my horse's sheaths that much. It's not like a regular thing that I do on a yearly basis or whatever. And Peachy told me that actually it's not necessary to clean the horse's gelding's sheath on a regular basis. But I thought that might have been his issue. So we did that. Now this is getting back to what I'm talking about with his swollen up legs, but if you just bear with me. He seemed fine, and she thought he was fine. So we thought, well, maybe he had a urinary tract infection. And so we decided to put him on a medicine. It's an antibiotic. I should have the name here with me, and maybe I can find it when I'm editing it and write it down. But it's a long-term antibiotic. So she gave him a shot. Let me see. 4 days ago, I guess it is. And she said when you do that, you will possibly have issues with a swelling neck. Okay. And right here, it did swell up a little bit. So she wanted me to give him another shot 3 days later. I think that's right. I can't remember for sure. But anyways, I did it when she told me to, which was last night. So I noticed this was swelling up quite a bit. So I just gave him the shot a little bit higher, which is perfectly fine to do. And he stood here fine and took the shot very well. So he put half on one side, half on the other side. So this morning when I came in and saw those swolled up legs, let me show it from this angle. Got dirt on there, okay. It's quite swollen. So when I saw those, I thought, well, maybe it's some sort of a reaction to the antibiotics we gave Ken. So I called up Petra, and she said, no, there's really no known side effects from that. And probably it's, and I also asked her, is it something because he hasn't been worked for quite some time and he just is lazy, he stays outside, he doesn't do anything? And so should I hitch him up and give him some light exercise today? And she thought that was a good idea, and we're going to do that. So hopefully that will solve this problem and it'll go right away. He has had swollen leg problems before, and he does need to be forced to exercise to keep that go away, to get that to go away. He has also had some issues with this leg right here. Brenda, do you remember what that was called?
No.
Cellulitis?
Oh yeah, cellulitis, yeah.
So he's had some troubles with cellulitis on this leg right here, and there's a bit of a bulge right here, and that's kind of, I don't know, partially to do with that. But anyways, I've always had to watch his legs closely, and by having these type of stalls, you're going in and you are able to watch these legs closely because you're in with them all the time. So that's what I'm dealing with today, and I'm going to take him out and hitch him up to, I might hitch him up to Lady because she's the slower walker, because I don't really want him to run down the road, but I want him to get some exercise, so we'll force some exercise on him. If he went with Buck, I'm sure Buck would be feeling his oats and would want to run down the road, and which would normally be fine, but considering Ken's situation, I think just a good walk will be great for him. So that should hopefully take care of this problem. But let me tell you a few other problems that we've had with Ken over the years. I would like to say it's some of these problems are from getting old, but that's really not the case, because Ken is only 14, maybe 15 years old, which he is getting along in years, but so aren't I. But I think it's so important for a horse, an older horse like Buck, he's the oldest one. It's so important to keep him working, just like it's important to keep myself working. I've got a terribly sore shoulder right at the moment, but it's so important to keep going and keep working those muscles. I know I'm rambling, and I apologize for that, but let me get back to some of his other problems he's had over the years. When we bought him as a colt, we bought a half brother with him also, and they were both blacks. The other horse was named Don. We named him Don. He was a little bit smaller horse. We actually named him after two of our neighbors up the road, Don and Ken. So we actually lost Ken to colic. I'm sorry. We actually lost Don to colic quite a few years ago now. And he had had colic before, and we were able to save him then. And Ken has also had issues with colic. Now, I don't think it's anything that I'm doing wrong as far as feeding and all that good stuff. I think it's more of a genetic issue with colic. As a matter of fact, years and years ago when I was 15 years old, I bought my first pair of horses, and that's a whole nother story, but anyways, they were blacks like these guys, and we had a lot of colics with them too. I'll tell you that story some other time. So because I've had colic with Ken, I have to be very careful to feed him properly, but it's very important that he keeps getting his exercise. Another thing that I do is I heat my water tub, and I didn't do it all the time, but I do it now all the time because of him, because he has to have the right amount of water, and when he goes to water, it takes him forever to drink. And there's some issues there, and I think it's related to his peeing problem, to tell you the truth. But anyways, he's doing okay with that situation. He's also got what I would call string halt. That's kind of a term you don't hear too often, but it's basically a nervous, I wish I knew more about it to explain it to you. But anyways, he has a hind leg, and it's generally this leg, but when he goes up in stall, he'll actually lift his leg up really high and then walk on. But it's just one more problem that he has. He's been a great horse. I know of a few people that would love to have him in this barn. No Will. He is not for sale right at the moment. Can you think of any other problems he's been having over the years, Brenda?
No, just
Those problems are enough.
scared. What?
He's got a freak out problem. He's tend to be such a deadhead of a horse, and yet when you go out on the road, and he's lived by this road all of his life from 6 months on, he's been by this traffic all the time, and he'll still at times freak out when a truck goes by. But and other things will freak him out. But generally, he's a very calm, easygoing horse.
Jim came in last night from giving him that shot, and he said he was a perfect patient. So.
Yeah, he really was. He stood right there. And this was a hard antibiotic, but it was very thick, and so it took forever to push the syringe to get it into him, and he just stood there perfectly. So anyway, we're gonna get him harnessed up and run him and walk him down the road or run him down the road, whatever he feels like. If he feels more energetic, I will let him run also. But I expect if just a good walk down the road will do wonders for his legs. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so we got Lady and Ken hitched up, and we're just gonna give some exercise. Another thing I've found over the years is when it's wet and sloppy outside, which we got rain last night, lost most of our snow, and it's wet and sloppy, horses just tend to stand around. They don't get hardly any exercise at all. This time of year when there's no grass to go after, you've got a pile of hay, they stand there, they eat the hay, and they just don't do anything. Horses are like people, they're generally lazy unless you make them work. So I have found that just hitching them up and going down the road a half mile and coming back, sometimes at a trot, is just way more exercise than they'd get if they were outside all day long. So it's actually better to do that, because that way they stay clean, they're out of the mud. The stalls are comfortable, they're perfectly happy in here, they like it in here. And so that's what I do quite often, and that's what we're going to do today. So we'll get these two hitched up and we'll head on out and give them a little exercise, and hopefully it's going to help Ken's legs. You get the door.
Sure.
How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Got that. Move. Up.
Whoops.
And hit him. Left.
It happens.
One thing I like to do is I have 4 horses, and it's so easy for the horses to get used to working on one side. And when you have an issue of any particular kind, it's so important to be able to have the horses work on either side. So Ken is on the same side he is normally on. Lady is on the opposite side that she's normally on. So it's just one more thing that helps them to be more versatile. And I really like a versatile horse that can do a lot of different things. I don't remember the last time Ken was hitched up. I think it's been a week and a half. That was that. Deal. Deal. Oh, bye. 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 Ha, a little bit. Ha, ha. G. G. Bye. Ah, bien. Ah, bien, bon. Oh. Well, I hope that helped out Ken and his legs. I was expecting just to walk all the way today, and that's why I used Lady with Ken. But got down the bottom of the hill and into the field, and boy, they wanted to run, so I let them run. I didn't used to like to have my horses run any, but it's a great way to get twice as much exercise in half the time. So in situations like today, it worked out really good. And they seem to do fine. Now, I'm sure that I'm betting people were wondering, well, didn't that hurt Ken to be working that leg? And yeah, it probably did. But sometimes it's like when you go have a shoulder messed up or whatever, you have an operation, you go to therapy, I'm pretty sure that hurts a lot too, but you have to do it. And so that's one of those situations for today, oh lady, that I felt that whatever pain I might be causing Ken is for his best interest. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and we'll put these horses away, and you have a great day.